This week, the RTD Board indeed reconsidered its no vote and this time unanimously voted in favor of providing its unused lot as a park for a potential National Medal of Honor museum. Marie, this was quite the turnaround from, I don't even know how many National Medal of Honor Award winners. And we were correct before, there aren't any winners, but we were quoting an RTD Board director. They are recipients, but this was quite the big turnaround to go from a no vote to unanimously in favor of it. What do you think made the difference?
I mean, RTD clearly stepped in it, and the public made that pretty clear. So the bright side of this is showing the public your voice does matter. When you reach out to people who represent you, you can make a change, and look how quickly they turned that around. So good for RTD. And you know, I think we all called them out on their mistake, and they stepped forward, they recognized it, and they fixed it. And I want to give credit for when people acknowledge a mistake and fix it. I'd like to see more of that, so good on them for changing their minds.
Carlos, was this public outcry? Was this Governor Polis and Mayor Hancock showing up and suggesting? Was it everything? What do you think?
I really like this idea of having this museum in our city and taking a gravel lot on Lincoln and Colfax and turning it into a park. I think parks and museums are just things that enrich our city. But what I'm most encouraged is about two things. One, that the RTD Board, who are elected officials, did not rubber stamp something from the administration that they didn't fully understand. And so they're taking their elected position very seriously. But the second point I want to make about this is that yes, the public spoke out, they made their voice heard, and they flipped 7 votes to get a favorable approval of this proposal. And it's hard to get people, I'm a community organizer, it's hard to get people engaged in RTD issues and to get them to contact their RTD director. So I'm glad this issue got such attention and it got people calling in and getting engaged. I hope they get engaged in a lot more of the important transit issues that RTD is dealing with.
Here. I got to believe people north of the city are going to be wanting to tap into some of that energy. If they can change their mind in a museum, maybe how about a train to the north? But that's a whole different episode. Patty, what was the heaviest hand here? The governor, the mayor calling up, or the public in ready to suddenly go to an RTD Board of Directors meeting, which I don't think anyone would do unless they lost a bet?
I would like to think it's the public, but I'm pretty sure it's the politicians. When Polis stepped in, you know, Denver and Colorado have been working to get this museum. I don't think we will now, just because if you're in Arlington, Texas, you've got a lot of ammo to use against the other contender. But I would take it back to, if the RTD can move this fast on this issue, where they were just clearly, it looked like they followed the lead of one completely out of our mind board member, rather than just waiting to hear better arguments. If they can do that fast, why can't they get the lines that are so delayed going a little faster?
If you can answer that question, Patty, I think there's definitely a profitable future for you. David, what do you think of this whole thing? Did RTD appropriately clean up a mess they made themselves?
Yes, and as controversy showed, there are some people who don't know very much about Medal of Honor winners, and so that's why a museum is a great idea to educate the public about history and honor. And I'd agree, good for the board RTD members who recognize they may have made a mistake and were willing to admit it.